Galloway's Tech Talk at 3 with Sam Seavey from The Blind Life.
Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing okay, and welcome to Galloway's Tech Talk at 3. I'm in awe now because I'm honoured to be joined by Sam Seavey, famous YouTuber from The Blind Life. How are we doing, Sam? Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm doing great and happy to be back.
Excellent. Yeah, back again. Absolutely. Sam's joining us all the way from Lexington, Kentucky. What's it like in Lexington at the moment? Is it warm, hot?
It's beautiful. We've had some beautiful weather, a couple sunny days. It's I think right now it's hovering around 58 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. Sorry,
Oof,
I can't do the conversion. It's nice. It's a little cool, it's like jeans weather and long sleeve, but definitely comfortable to work in the garden and things like that.
Excellent. And you're joining us in your YouTube. We will recognize the YouTube studio there. That's where all the magic happens, behind you there. So that's great. And what time is it over there? About 10 o'clock or something like that?
Yeah, just after 10 a.m.
Excellent. You've had your breakfast? We're all raring to go?
Breakfast, my 2 cups of coffee, which is what gets me going each day. And I'm ready to go. As I said before, though, I'm still in my pajamas. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, I hope there's not coffee granules all over the kitchen.
No, the beauty of the Keurig.
Video. Yeah, I saw your video about that. That was awesome. And the fact that you do videos not just about technology but about gadgets in general, which is really cool. So it's great to have you. So there's probably a number of people on today, Sam, that may have not seen your channel before. So it'd be great to find out about how you started, where you've come from, and how you've got so many followers now on Blind Life. It's amazing, how you built this channel and developed it over years. So could you tell us a little bit about where you started and a little bit about you? That would be awesome.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'll go back. I was diagnosed at age 11 with Stargardt's disease. I know we've got some Stargardians in the call here.
I love that Stargardians. That's great.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I'm always happy to see that.
You a Trekkie? Are you a Trekkie by any chance, Sam?
I'm a next generation, which might be blasphemy for a lot of people. I'm not an original, but it was a little bit before my time. But next generation, Picard, Riker, all of them, and Geordi, of course, the blind Trek guy.
Absolutely,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, actually, the stuff and the visor that he wears, on Star Trek, is very much like what we're seeing now with all these wearables, isn't it? Too far too similar, really. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Cool. Sorry.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't tried to model that design and bring it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you there, but yeah, I didn't find out if you were a Trekkie.
Yeah. So diagnosed at age 11. My sister and I were the only siblings in the family, and we were both diagnosed with Stargardt's disease. So, grew up with low vision. I was legally blind by my mid-teens. It's that same old story, tale as old as time, growing up with low vision. Had its hard times and its good times. I always tried to keep a positive attitude and, just kind of roll with the punches, as they say. I think it helped. It definitely, I know it helped growing up with a sibling that had it as well, because here was someone else that was like me and could relate, and that we kind of bonded over that. In fact, my sister Tawny has been on the channel several times in videos, and we're still very close to this day because of that. But grew up, went through school, all of that, and I've got tons of videos on my channel talking about that. Fast forward to adulthood, I had several jobs. I worked a lot in restaurants, working in the kitchens, cooking, made it all the way to kitchen manager of a restaurant at one point. But along the lines, the vision just continually gets worse. So eventually it just got so bad that I couldn't keep those jobs. I couldn't continue doing that. So I was always looking for something to do. I've always been a creative person too. So I wanted an outlet for my creativity. Had a bunch of odd jobs. At one point, I was even a certified cake decorating instructor, and I taught people how to decorate cakes. Once again, just trying to get that creative outlet going. But same story though. Eventually, my eyes got so bad that I was actually having my wife do most of the detail on the cakes for me because I couldn't do it anymore. And so, you know, when it gets to that point, it just wasn't fun for me to do anymore. So I once again was looking for something to do. Probably about 2010 maybe. I was hired by a gentleman living in Texas here in the US. He had a YouTube channel called Mobile Tech Videos, where he was making videos about Android phones and Android tablets, how to modify them, I guess hack them, you could say, to you know, take the operating system off and tweak the operating system and put it back on and just make it really do all the cool things that Android can do, really unlock the full potential of the phone. So I started making videos for him because it was something that I could do. I could adapt it in my own home and do it the way that worked the best for me. And so made videos for him, for his channel for about 2 or 3 years. Eventually though, I was on YouTube one day, this was probably about 2013. And I thought, you know what, let me look to see if there's any videos about Stargardt's disease, and did a search, and there wasn't much out there at the time. There were some medical videos talking about the disease and the medical side of it. But I was really looking for information about people living with it, you know, real life people living with the disease. And there wasn't much out there. It was maybe 1 or 2 videos at all. You know, that's it. So I thought, well, I should start my own channel. I've got all the equipment. I know how to make videos. I've been doing it on YouTube for a couple of years. I know the process and all that. So I did. 2013, December of 2013, actually, I created the Blind Spot YouTube channel and started making videos, kind of documenting my life as a visually impaired person. Back then, I didn't really have any kind of direction, any kind of schedule or anything like that. It was just whatever I thought of that week, I would make a video. And you know, sometimes I'd make 2 videos a week. Sometimes I'd make 1 video a month. It just was random. It was really just something to do, something to occupy my time. But eventually over the years, it kind of distilled down to what it is today. Which is just a channel about living life with vision impairment and tips and tricks videos, how-to videos. And right now it has a strong emphasis on assistive technology because that's what I've been using AT since I was a kid in school, and I love technology. I love how technology helps me in my everyday life, and I want to share that with people. And I love teaching people about that. About 3 years ago, I had to change the name. There was I received a very lovely letter from a company up in New York from their lawyers saying that my name was too close to their trademark name and I needed to change it or else. So I did. That's why it's now called The Blind Life. But in hindsight, it was a tough thing to do at the time because the Blind Spot was my baby. You know, I've been nurturing it for several years. And but hindsight, I think the name, the new name, The Blind Life, I think it fits the theme of the channel better. Because as I say in my videos, it's, you know, I'm here to help you learn how to live your best blind life.
I love that. I love that. I love that what you say on your videos. Yeah, live your best blind life because, you know, you can. You're making it a positive thing rather than being a negative thing. And I agree with you. I think The Blind Spot was a good name, but I actually do agree. I think The Blind Life it speaks volumes about what your channel is all about.
Right. Yeah. And you talk about turning it into a positive. I've been criticized over the years that I don't show any of the negative sides of vision loss. I don't talk about those things. And my response to that is, yeah, you're right. I don't. And that's on purpose. You know, nobody wants to turn on a YouTube video and hear depressing stuff for, nobody wants to watch a depressing YouTube video. We all live with vision impairment. We know what it's like. We know all the downsides of it. I would much rather focus on the positives. Let's talk about the positives and let's turn it around and make it something to celebrate. So that's what the channel is about. But also a little bit of backstory on me too, or a little bit of information about me. I currently am an assistive technology trainer at a nonprofit here in Kentucky. So I run the program, the assistive technology and training program. I work with clients every day, teaching them all about assistive technology. It's the same thing I do on the channel, I do in my daily life, and I love it. And I'm also lucky to have access to a lot of really cool gadgets and all of that I can then feature on the channel and share with the world.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe we need to do like a student exchange. We need to do an assistive technology coordinator exchange. You can come to Galloway's, right? And I'll come over to Lexington, and we'll do an exchange one day, maybe.
I think that would be fantastic. I've always wanted to go to Ireland. That's one of my bucket list places.
Oh, Ireland. Yeah, well, you could come to Galloway's first, and then when then you could go to Ireland once you'd been to Galloway's. Absolutely. That sounds like a good plan. What can people what can people expect if they go onto when they go onto your channel now, Sam? What types of stuff can people expect to watch, and where do you get all your ideas from? How do you keep things fresh so often all the time?
So my typical videos, I really heavily lean towards assistive technology. If you go to my channel and look through my list of videos, most of them are going to be about assistive technology, whether that's featuring a new product, doing a review of a product, featuring an app, a smartphone app, or some type of new accessibility on a smartphone that was just released. But I also do tips and tricks videos. I do videos with other amazing blind people, featuring them on the channel, maybe doing interviews. I have a whole series that I did with my wife talking about dating, marriage, raising children, all with a blind person. I've done videos with my kids and with my nephews, talking to them about growing up with a blind parent, getting their perspective on that. So just quite a wide variety of things, but everything 100% has to do with vision impairment of some kind. I get approached because my channel is kind of perceived as a tech channel now. I get approached by all kinds of tech companies and wanting me to review some of the most ridiculous things. And I turn away. You guys, people watching the channel, don't realize how many companies I say no to because it has nothing to do with blindness or visually impaired.
Yeah.
Some of them, I had a company wanted me to review their alarm clock that slowly woke you up by turning on the lights.
Okay.
And, I'm like, okay, that's cool. It could be very helpful, but, a blind person, that's not really going to wake them up. If, the lights, low vision maybe, but blindness, no. And so
and is the clock accessible as well? Is it, can you use it accessibly? That's the other thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I get a lot of requests to do videos about video games. And my first question is, all right, yeah, possibly. Well, is your video game accessible for the blind and visually impaired? What kind of accessibility does it have it built in? And most times they don't. So, thank you, but no. I had somebody wanted me to review this gadget that you plug into the computer in your car, and it monitors like engine performance, fuel consumption, all of these things. And I'm like, you don't even know what my channel is about, do you?
Yeah. And that's kind of annoying, isn't it? Because it's like, you just kind of like, you're not even like read like the info about me or my channel and what it's all about. Actually, you're selling me a product that really, let's be honest, if you're visually impaired, we generally, most of us don't drive. So yeah, that's amazing. But keeping it fresh, I think is important. And I think you've also, I suppose, you put a big part of you into the channel, Sam. So you're actually letting people into your life. You know, they're learning a lot about you as a person, through lots of your videos that you've done about, you know, yourself and your wife and your family, and how you've, you know, dealt with your visual impairment. That's a huge thing to do, you know, on a global scale, which is what you've done. I mean, it's quite inspirational that then, you know, people can learn in that way. But I do think it's a big thing to open yourself to everybody in that way as well.
Yeah, you know, I say, you know, I'm an open book. People, when I do things like this, like these kind of events, people say, you know, are there any questions you don't want me to ask? And I was like, no, I've lived my life online for the last over a decade now. I've been on YouTube, so my life's an open book. I'm really nothing special. You know, I'm just sharing these things that we go through every day. You know, you had asked about where I come up with ideas for the videos. A lot of it is just I run into some kind of frustration and I figure out a way to, you know, a system that can solve that problem. And I think, oh, I'll make a video, and maybe others will find that helpful as well. You know, I do have a private side that I don't share. It's very small, actually. Now that I think about it, there really isn't too much that I'm not, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'll make a video about it. I don't care. I don't get embarrassed also. You know, if somebody wants me to stand up in front of a crowd of 100 people and talk, yeah, sure, no problem. Let's go for it. Like I said, I try to be a positive person and not let things bother me. And so I'm happy to share all of that with the world.
And I think like when you produce a video and you're talking through a product, demonstrating it, it really does come across that you're talking to me, or, you know, whoever it's that. Sometimes you watch a lot of YouTubers out there, and I don't feel as though they're talking to me, because a lot of your stuff is so bespoke, and it's so because for people with visual impairment. I sometimes feel like I'm in the room with you and you're talking to me and you're telling me what this phone can do or what this gadget can do, and it comes across really, really down to earth. And I suppose you get that from being an assistive technology trainer, and that's what comes out really well in the videos. You know, it's really down to earth, and we might as well be there with you when you're doing it. You know, it's so like, you know, realistic, really. So I think that's the cool thing, and I think that's why so many people, you know, feel at real ease when they're watching your videos, and that's why the channel becomes so big, because of you and your personality, and that's a huge thing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it comes from years of working with clients one-on-one, and you know, I've made videos on how to start a YouTube channel, how to make a video with low vision. I gave tricks about setting up the camera and all of that. And I've actually done presentations to groups on YouTube and how to have a presence on YouTube. And one of the first things I tell people is that it's about personality. You know, nobody wants to go on YouTube and watch somebody that talks like this, and this is what we're gonna do, and you know. But then the other extreme, nobody wants to hear that radio voice. Hey guys, it's today we're gonna be talking about, you know.
Yeah,
I'd say just be genuine, be yourself, but you do have to have some little semblance of personality.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be completely polished and completely like radio, TV, you know, kind of presentation. Yeah, down to earth. Cool. And I mean, I know we were talking earlier on. There's so much tech, so much developing technology at the moment, and a lot. I've noticed, like, if looking at some of your recent videos, there's an awful lot of wearable technology, you know, around nowadays, like the Orcam and the Envision, and the other device you were just talking to me about before, the Buddy. What's it called again? Sorry, the
Vision Buddy.
Vision Buddy. I don't think we've seen that. I don't think I've seen that in the UK yet. It might be something that we haven't seen in the UK, but there's a lot more wearable technology out there now. What are you most excited about over the next kind of 12 months in terms of technology? What are you hoping for?
Well, it's tough to say. Well, number one, I approach all of these products with a very clinical mindset, I guess you could say, where I don't get excited, because as a reviewer or as a trainer, and I'm sure you guys and many of you guys can relate, we have to look at the pros and cons and weigh out the benefits versus, just what's annoying and ridiculous. So I don't really get excited about new products like a normal consumer would, because I'm always looking with that critical eye that, well, this is ridiculous. Yeah. This isn't going to be helpful for anybody. That being said, I would love to see advancement in the augmented reality side of assistive technology. So augmented reality, for anyone that isn't familiar with it, it's basically you're looking through a camera at the real world, but they superimpose certain elements on that real world. For example, if you're wearing glasses and you look over at a supermarket or a grocery, maybe information about the hours of operation will pop up right above the grocery store and kind of float right above it, so you can learn about that. Or maybe the phone number to the store pops up. Excuse me. So that's what augmented reality is. So there's several devices that people are working on that will implement augmented reality more. A lot of these wearables, they're digital magnification. That's their main function. But they also do like color filters, like a regular digital magnifier does. So that's technically augmented reality. It's changing what the camera actually sees to enhance it. Some of these will have edge detection, where it'll put like a high contrast line on the edges of objects and stairs and things like that. Excuse me. But one idea that I've kind of pitched to some of these companies I think would be fantastic is if I were walking along and I needed navigation, turn-by-turn navigation. There's some great apps out there. The WeWalk app is one of my favorites right now for turn-by-turn navigation, accessible navigation. But I would love to see if I said, okay, navigate to Starbucks, and I'm out on the street walking down the sidewalk, if the glasses that I'm wearing will all of a sudden superimpose a bright yellow line on the ground in front of me and leading me in the direction that I need to go. Because I'm still a visual, I still, I use a lot of my usable vision left, still have it left. So I still use visual cues. But they need to be high contrast, high color contrast. So a bright yellow line on the ground, leading me in the direction that I need to go. And then if I were to look up in the sky, maybe in the distance, hovering above the Starbucks, even if it's like a mile away, there's a giant pin, like you would see on a map, on a digital map, a pin floating in the sky. So I know, okay, I need to follow this line, but I know in that direction is where I'm trying to head to. So even if I'm not following the line, I just need to head that way. I think that would be fantastic.
Maybe there's a big cappuccino there or something, or a big cappuccino or a latte or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Hovering above there. Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. That's something that I've not really thought of before. Yeah. Navigation apps are a huge thing that are making our lives a lot easier. I mean, such as for blind people as well, such as Soundscape as well as the WeWalk app, and even some of the stock apps like Google Maps that will talk to you. These things are making people's lives a lot easier. And I think a lot more integrated technology is helping as well, such as things like Ira. I know that you have over in the States, and Be My Eyes and things like that. That can be super useful as well. But I think the wearables market still is, a lot of the wearables are very chunky, aren't they? Still, they're slimming down a little bit, but eventually hopefully in the future we see smart glasses that are a bit more aesthetically pleasing. I suppose. But there is it's just around the realms of possibility when you look at things like eSight compared to some of the other models that use a smartphone, for example. It's still very hard to get these devices down to really slim-like a form factor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a limitation of technology right now. Battery technology, screen technology. If you want that small sunglasses look, which everybody does, that's one of the comments I get most often on these videos is, you know, it's too bulky. I would never walk around with that out in public. You know, why can't it just look like a pair of Ray-Bans or something like that? And it's just, we're just not there yet with technology. Yeah. But with technology progressing so quickly as it does, it can't be that long. I mean, I would say within 10 years, we could probably be there.
Yeah, I only saw something yesterday, actually, that I've not read into it yet, but that scientists have discovered new ways of making batteries more sustainable and actually making them last a lot longer and reducing the size of the battery as well. Like, it's a miracle breakthrough. So hopefully, going forward, once that technology comes in, we should see the slimming down of technology that that we get. So it's really great that and in terms of some of the latest videos that you've been running recently, what have been your hero videos of the last 12 months, would you say, Sam?
Well, I actually compiled a list here of some of my videos that I've done over the last year. And I'll just run through them real quickly and kind of talk about some of the standout ones. So I mentioned I do videos about people. I've got several videos here that I did with people or about people. One of the first videos I did in 2020 was it's more of a creative video. It wasn't my normal style, but it was a video about Dave Steele, who's the blind poet out of Manchester.
Oh yeah, I've seen those guys. Yeah, I've seen Dave Steele before on YouTube. Yeah.
Dave's pretty awesome, but he was over here in the U.S. doing a book tour, and I tagged along for like the second half of it up in New York. I went up there and followed him around for a couple of days to some conferences and speaking events and stuff. And so I got some video while I was there with him and made this video about him, just reciting some of his poetry and talking about his story. And I think it turned out pretty nice. I always look at my videos and I can nitpick all the little things that I could have done better, but it turned out all right.
You're critical, but yeah, that's what makes us learn and do more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're critical of yourself.
You're never satisfied with your work. You're always looking to improve it, which is good. I did that video with my daughter, an updated video. I had done one when she was probably about 10 or 11, about living with a visually impaired parent and growing up with a parent. And people had wanted kind of an updated version. So she and I, my daughter's 15 now, so she and I sat down and we did an updated version, and that was a lot of fun. Her name is Skylar. So that's on there as well. I did a video also about a school for the blind here in the US. It's in Ohio, the Ohio State School for the Blind. And they have these models, these amazing 3D models. They were made back in like the 20s and the 30s. Craftsmen were hired to make these scale models of national monuments, like the Roman Colosseum, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, all of these amazing buildings and volcanoes, but they're all down to scale. The Taj Mahal is one. And so that blind children could actually get hands-on and feel what these amazing buildings and monuments and things all were like. Yeah, but they have these, and the sad part is that a lot of them are in disarray and they're falling apart just from neglect. They're all down, most of them are down in a basement of this school. And so I really wanted to kind of highlight that and try to bring awareness to it so that the school could help raise some funds to get these things restored, because they're just truly incredible and a real powerful teaching tool for blind children.
Absolutely, yeah.
So then tips and tricks videos, I've done a ton of those. I mentioned before how to create a YouTube channel. I've got 2 videos about that. I've done several travel tips. I took back in December of 2019, I actually traveled to the Czech Republic and Prague and spent a week out there.
Nice.
Traveled there by myself, and I knew people out there that kind of got me set up with an Airbnb, but you know, I did a bunch of sightseeing by myself. We talked about navigation apps. Thankfully, I Google Maps saved my life out there on several occasions. The turn-by-turn navigation with Google Maps was fantastic. It worked great. It allowed me to go all over Prague by myself and sightsee. So that was a lot of fun. But I've made videos about both traveling and international travel, independent travel as a VIP, and some different travel hacks, like how to mark your suitcases so that you can find them when they come back on the conveyor belts. You'll know which ones are yours. Just all kinds of things like that. Using a flashlight to find things in kind of a unique way. I've done several DIY CCTV videos, like how to create your own CCTV or digital video magnifier, using smartphones or tablets or webcams, and just instead of, you know, so someone that maybe can't afford a $4,000 digital magnifier, they can use some of their existing equipment and do one for really, really cheap.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then the devices, ton of assistive technology device videos. I've done a bunch of digital magnifiers, handheld digital magnifiers, the Compact 10 and Compact 6 digital magnifiers.
Yeah. Compact 10's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that. It has the arm that pops out.
Yeah.
I did the complete line of Snow handheld digital magnifiers. I was lucky to get all of those and feature all of those in a video. The Vision Buddy that we talked about, which the Vision Buddy is a wearable that allows you to watch TV. It streams TV and movies into the headset and allows you to see it in the headset.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you feel like you're sitting in a virtual movie theater, and you can kind of move your head around and look around at the screen right in front of you. It works really well for that. So I'm as I mentioned before, I'm doing another video of their updated version, which will probably be out next week. I've done the Iris Vision. I did an updated video of the Iris Vision last year. The A-Sight VR from ZoomMax, did a video about that. I did a video about an LED cane. I've done several cane videos over the last year and a half. Which was really cool, a light up cane. We mentioned it earlier, the Orcam Pro and the Orcam Read. I've done videos about those this past year. I really like the Read. That was one of the ones that I seriously considered getting it, because I really could see myself using that on lots of different situations.
Yeah, it lends itself to a lot of people, the Read, wasn't it? And I don't think it was even really designed for visually impaired people or even blind people. And I think it's surprised even Orcam at how blind people are using it, and they're able to use it, because of the laser and it being quite visual. Maybe for people with reading impairments or dyslexia will use it as well. And I think that's what it was more aimed at. And yet a lot of visually impaired and blind people are using it really well. So it's more affordable, which we like.
I got that comment a lot that well, would this be good for a totally blind person? If you can't see the laser, how do you aim it and all that? And I say, yeah, absolutely. One of the videos I watched before I made my video to try and learn a little bit more about it was from a gentleman down in Florida Jose, who is totally blind, and he uses it, and he was demonstrating it. I kind of point people to that video. It's like, look here, there's a totally blind person using the read with no problem. So
yeah.
Did that. Where am I? LED cane or cam. I did the eSight 4 this year. Did that video. Amazon, I partnered up with Amazon to demonstrate the Amazon Echo Show, which is their Amazon Echo with the screen, and showing off the show and tell feature that they have, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we did. We featured that on our Tech Talk a few months ago as well. Did a bit of a live demonstration of that. It's still in its infancy in a way, isn't it? There's quite a bit they need to do on it yet, but it's a great start.
Yeah, and it's just like anything else. It takes a little bit of practice to get familiar with the subtle nuances of how to make it work the best that it can.
Yeah.
I did a video with about the Bradley watch, the Bradley timepiece, which is the accessible watch that has the little steel ball bearings in it that are that represent the hour and the minute hand. So you can just feel it to feel what time it is. That was pretty cool. And then I've done a ton of apps and smartphone and computer software. I did a huge walkthrough of Windows 10 accessibility that got a pretty popular response from the community. I did a walkthrough of the iOS 14 update accessibility and then how to add widgets to your home screen and how to add accessibility widgets to your home screen on iPhones and iPads. Did a video about the SuperSense app on Android and just several different kind of videos about that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're nice. The guys at SuperSense are great. We had they came on our Tech Talk. I think it was like I think it was in September last year to come and talk about it, and they were great. And I think they're not too far away from you, I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not sure where are they located.
I think they're I'm sure they're in Kentucky. I'm sure they were. Yeah, I might be wrong.
Well,
yeah.
The American
disclaimer: I may be wrong.
American Printing House for the Blind is in Kentucky. Here, they're about an hour away from us.
Cool.
But yeah, so yeah, lots of really cool. And this is just scratching the surface of all the videos I've done this year, and even last year and into this year. Some really, really cool ones.
It's like where do you find the time to fit your own personal life in? You're doing all these videos and things. It must take a lot of time.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's like I never complain about this because I love making the videos. I love interacting with the community. I love doing things like this with you guys. So I never complain about it, but it is a lot of work. I've had lots of people say, "Oh, I'm going to make YouTube videos." And they'll put out 1 or 2 videos and then we'll never see them again because they quickly realize that it can be a full-time job. I do 1 video a week. I post my videos on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern. I work as the AT trainer only 2 days a week, and the other 3 days a week are YouTube. And oftentimes into the weekend, because after I post, I get on Discord, my Blind Life Discord channel, and I talk to people, and then I'll go in and I'll answer comments and all that. A lot of that's done on the weekend, but it's 1 video, especially a big video like the eSight 4 video, I will record. I'll record about 3 days, and then it'll take about 3 or 4 days to edit. And these are full, like 9 to 5 days. So it's just mainly because, as most people in here can probably relate, it just takes us with low vision 3 times as long to do just about anything.
Yeah.
So trying to set up a camera and all that and get the right shots. And then I might record this whole bit, and then when I go to edit it, realize that my autofocus wasn't turned on, and so the whole thing is blurry.
Oh, no.
or I'll realize that I forgot to turn the microphone on, and I'll have to go, it's just silent. And so I'll have to go re-record that whole thing again.
Isn't that annoying? I've done that a few times on using an iPhone and a microphone, and I've realized the microphone wasn't plugged in, so I was just recording using the microphone, the rubbish microphone. Oh, so annoying. Well, I know I know you put a lot of hard work into it, Sam, and it takes you a long time, but it's providing a lot of people with some hugely valuable information, all over the world, really, because you're global. So it's amazing. So we thank you for doing what you do. I'm sure that we might have we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm sure we might have a few questions.
Hi, Sam. Thank you for your wonderful videos. Can I ask you about Apple AirTags? What do you think of them?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? Yeah. Have you tried them yet, Sam? AirTags.
Apple what? AirTags?
AirTags, yeah.
Oh, the tags. I haven't. I watched a video about it. And you know what? It's got some interesting features that, well, especially the navigation, where it'll point you in the direction of wherever this thing is. I like that. I like that aspect, especially if you like you put one in your bag and you're traveling and you set your bag down and you don't remember where it is. Or once again, it's coming around on the conveyor belt.
If we paired that up, yeah.
I like
if we pair that up with your idea, Sam, of the glasses. Yeah, the augmented reality.
Oh, there you
go.
Your
yellow line. Imagine if that connected with your AirTag.
yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd love to get my hands on them, and then get my hands on something like the some of the other wayfinding tags that are out there, and just kind of do a comparison.
Yeah, that would be good, because you got Tile. I've got Tile at home, and I've been using those for about 4 years now.
Right.
But the AirTags, it's Apple, isn't it? I'm intrigued because it's Apple. I'm probably going to end up getting some because surely they're going to like seamlessly connect to your phone, but you do need an 11 or above to make the most use out of these AirTags, an iPhone 11 or above. And I think possibly being able to like have kind of your warm, your cold kind of detection as you're trying to find them, that's awesome, to have directions or tactics maybe to say that you're so far away from the AirTag, you're nearly there, you've nearly found it. Whereas with the Tiles, they just ring, don't they? And the other thing was, Sam, I thought was interesting was, I wonder how Apple, if you lose your AirTag in the street, there's going to be a lot more people that potentially can pick up, send that signal back to Apple to tell you where the tag's being lost than maybe the Tile community. Well, instantly Apple have got a huge community of people that probably help find lost AirTag as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, I think it said that if you have it turned on your phone and you come into range of someone else's tag, so the tag, if you have it near you, then only you can register, only you can detect the tag. But if you're not near it and someone else does, they will be able to detect it, but it'll only give them your information. And so you'll be able to contact them if need be. But yeah, I think it said something about it uses kind of this hive community where you'll be able to piggyback off of other people's phones and, locate yours. Yeah. It's really interesting.
I think that's
really powerful.
Security issues, though, if you think about it, because, especially with the increase of scammers and the potentiality of that. But that being said, I mean, is there anything that's coming online similar for the Android users?
I'm sure somebody will come up with something. There's always copycats once something comes out.
Yeah,
security, that's a valid point. That's a valid concern, definitely. I am, just to be fully transparent, I'm not really an Apple person. So
no, I don't get Android.
I don't get as excited about these things. I mean, I have both Android and iPhone. I use both, but it's more just so I can be a good trainer and know how both systems work. But at heart, I'm more of an Android guy.
Yeah, well, it's the same for me. I mean, my own mobile's an Android, but my work mobile.
Are you all ganging up now, you androids?
Android for the win.
Yeah, we're gang on.
My work phone's an Android and an Apple, you know. So obviously, because I deal with people with sight problems as well as being visually impaired, I do need to know, or at least have an idea of how to adapt both types of phones for people to use. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Another Stargarts person. I have actually seen one of these AirTags because a friend of mine who's blind has got one, and basically it's a small tablet about the size of our pound coin, and it hasn't got a hole in it. So straight away, you've got to buy a holder for it so you can actually.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you do. You do.
I think it's a shocking design fault.
How very
cool. In typical Apple fashion, isn't it? Really, you've got to go and buy. Got to buy the accessory for it, basically. But but by the way, you can if you go on Amazon or eBay, places like that, you can get like cheaper key rings for them than the official.
Oh yeah, but you shouldn't have to, should you? I don't understand why.
It should all come together.
Yeah,
it should do.
Now, when in Apple world do things come together? Come on, guys, we know better than that.
Yeah,
it's absolutely. A bit naughty that not to put something to allow you to attach it.
I think it's to allow you to kind of customize it more and make it like, you know, jazz it up how you want it to look. And some of the key AirTags, one of them was about £100. Like it was like one leather. Really? Would you spend that much on a key ring? Yeah, okay.
No.
Don't think so.
Definitely not.
Anyway, so have we got any more questions for Sam?
Some things that a blind person use have to be reliable. You know, they have to work every day without fail, like a talking microwave or an electronic magnifier, for example. Do you sometimes revisit a product that's been out before just to advise on how reliable it's been? In other words, put up on YouTube how many times it's broken down or how many times somebody's had to take it back to the shop because it's not working properly.
No, but that is a great idea. And I've actually thought about that recently because just last week, in fact, I did a presentation at a university here to a bunch of students, and I brought a huge amount of devices with me. I had a giant rolling suitcase and a couple backpacks full of stuff.
I know how you feel.
And but one of the things I brought was the WeWalk cane, and I actually have two of them, and I brought both of them. One was the cane that I got about a year and a half ago that I did my first initial video about. And then the second one was the updated new hardware cane that was newer. I got just a couple months ago. And when I went to charge it up, the old one has a horrible rattle. The vibration, something has happened where the vibration now is making this horrific rattling noise. And it's not that old, and I haven't used it. I don't use it. It just sits, you know, leaning up against my wall over there. So that might be something to make a video, an updated video about that, you know, this really shouldn't be making this noise.
It is time consuming because you've got to wait a while for a product to have been out for a while, and you know how to find out. I know some consumer organizations have done this with, say, cars or other products, because you know a product can be really great, but you know, but it can also be unreliable. Sadly, that very great product that does just what you want, you know, it has existed, hasn't it? I've been in situations where something's been really, really great, but it's so unreliable.
Yes, we've seen that with a couple of, like, you know, probably about 4 or 5 years ago with some of the kind of accessible mobile phones that, you know, they're not around anymore. And they were great. They were great. And I remember someone saying to me about a particular phone that they'd had. They went, "Oh, it's great, this phone, you know. I've had 5 of them." And I said, "Well, yeah, that's why. It's why it's not reliable.
Very great. You've had to have that many.
Yeah, you've had so many of them." Begs me the question, actually, Sam. Would you ever do drop testing?
That is a good question. Probably not if I had to buy it myself.
I mean, that's something that visually impaired people do a lot, you know.
We do, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, don't walk around with a naked iPhone or a naked Android phone. You'll get a case on it, haven't you? But it amazes me. It amazes me the people that throw them at walls and do deep water tests with them and things like that. So we can't do that with assistive technology. It's so expensive.
Right.
It would be a crime, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it really would.
My
I think
channel's
a
not
drop
that.
test is fine for a portable product, isn't it? A drop test for something that you're carrying around a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that needs to be done in controlled conditions.
Yeah,
I know I've seen it done on the gadget show. Some of them are a bit extreme, but
Oh yeah, they get a new device out. Yeah,
I know they are. Yeah.
Yeah, a new Android or a new iPhone out, and they go, "Oh, we'll drop this from a 2-story building. Now we'll go to a 5-story building. We'll see how it survives." I just cry and I'm like, "Don't do that. Just give it to me. I'll look after it."
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Well, that's not a realistic test, is it? Dropping it down the stairs, dropping say a magnifier down the stairs is a realistic test, but from 5 floors up, how often is that?
No,
how often are you going to do that? Yeah, David, how often are you going to do that?
No,
Have we got
you
one?
need realistic tests.
Absolutely. Have we got one last question for Sam before we let it go? Has anybody got one last question?
Can I?
Yeah, go for it.
Sam, does the WeWalk only work with the cane? Can you use the app by itself or not?
Yeah, the app works. It's a companion app, but you can use it independently. You don't need to own the cane. You don't have to use the cane with it. It's more that the cane or the app adds extra functionality to the cane and not the other way around. And in fact, the app is free. It's available on Android and iOS. It's one of my favorite navigation apps, turn-by-turn navigational apps. In my testing, I think it worked really well, and it's international. I've heard people from lots of different countries say that it works great in their area.
Brilliant,
we're going to have to try that then. I actually haven't tried the WeWalk yet.
Interesting, though.
Yeah, it does. There's so much. There's so much stuff. But Sam, if people want to find out more about you and about the channel, what's the easiest way for them to get involved? And is it just by going on YouTube and just searching for The Blind Life? Is that the easiest thing to do?
Yeah, you could search. You could even do a Google search for The Blind Life, and you'll find my YouTube. It'll be the first thing that pops up. You can go onto YouTube, and the URL is youtube.com/theblindlife. You can also check out my website, theblindlife.net. On the website, you'll learn all about me, a little bit about my history, how to contact me, how to work with me. Also, there's information about the merchandise I sell through Amazon and Teespring, all kinds of low vision shirts and low vision products and funny stuff.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, the t-shirts are great. The t-shirts are brilliant, actually. Yeah, they are.
What do they do?
Yeah. Give us a slogan from one of your t-shirts, Sam.
Well, the most popular one by far is the one that says, "I can see, but I can't. #It's complicated."
They are excellent. We're gonna have to get some in Galloway's. I think I said that last time, didn't I?
Yeah,
but
we ought to do that.
We'll get some shipped to the UK. One. Yeah, we'll get some shipped to the UK, and we'll all wear them. Brilliant stuff. Excellent. Yeah, absolutely.
Andrew,
go on. Yeah, go on.
Can you send us an email with the details on?
Yes, I will do. I'll make sure I do send an email with Sam's details to everybody, so you can go on his website or go on the YouTube channel. Yeah, I will.
Between now and tomorrow, or later today, I've forgotten what it is.
No problem. We'll do that. Sam from The Blind Life. I tell you what, it's been an absolute treat. I've got one last question. Will you come and join us again in the future? Will you come and speak to us again?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we won't have to wait a whole nother year or so.
No, yeah, absolutely. We'll I think we'll try. I'll idea maybe before Christmas, and we could talk about Christmas tech. Maybe that'd be quite cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. And I just it would be. And I just want to say it's been fantastic having you join us again, Sam. Really appreciate it, and we look forward to having you on again. But enjoy of your day. I know you've got a full day of it ahead. So hopefully,
I'm actually doing a tech Zoom seminar for my business or my job at 1:00 today, and we're going to be talking about cane tips, all the different types of cane tips.
Cool. Yeah. Excellent.
So, that sounds interesting.
Excellent. Keep all that good work up. And it's great to connect with you again. And that's Sam from The Blind Life. Thank you very much. Give him a round of applause, everyone. Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers,
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks again.